Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be answering the question, what is the difference between active and passive voice? With the active voice, the subject of the sentence is the person, place or thing that does the action that's happening in the sentence. Let's take, for example, this. Hardeep lifts the weights. Hardeep is the subject of the sentence, and the verb lifts is the action of the sentence. And because Hardeep is the individual that's lifting the weights, this sentence is written in the active voice. However, with the passive voice, it is the object of the sentence that is completing the action. So with the same scenario, the sentence could be written like this. The weights were lifted by Hardeep. The subject of the sentence is not Hardeep. Here, the subject of the sentence remains the weights. Instead, though, Hardeep becomes the object of the sentence, and it is he who's lifting those weights. What you can notice just from the same phrasing each time that we look at the comparison of the same activity when written in active or passive, the active voice uses less words and is often far clearer to understand than when writing in the passive voice. So the question to ask ourselves is, does the subject do the action? If it does, then we're dealing with the active voice. But in a sentence where the subject does not do the action of the sentence, we're definitely dealing with the passive voice. So now it's your turn. For each of these 5 sentences, I want you to identify if it is the subject that does the action in the sentence or not. And then identify if you're dealing with the active or passive voice. Hit pause if you need thinking time. So, how did you get on? Camilla walked away from the group. The subject of the sentence is Camilla, and we know she walked away. The subject of our sentence is the individual that's completing the action. So yes, we are dealing with the active voice. A train will be taken by Robelais tonight. The subject of the sentence is the train. But the train is not completing the action of the sentence. It is in fact the object of the sentence, Robelais, who is taking the train. So no, the subject does not do the action. And so the second sentence is written in the passive voice. With number 3, the mat got sat on by the cat. The subject of the sentence is the mat. Yet the action happens because of the cat. It is the cat who actively sits on the mat. The mat did nothing to get sat on. The object of the sentence is the cat who does this action. So here we are definitely dealing with the passive voice because it is the object that does the action, not the subject. Natasha looked out towards the sea. Natasha is the subject of my sentence, and I learn that she looked out. So yes, she does this action, and so I must be dealing with the active voice. Finally, Acton Bell wrote 2 novels. Acton Bell is the subject of my sentence, and they wrote 2 novels. They did that. The subject of my sentence completes the action of the sentence. So I'm dealing with yet another active voice sentence. In summary, the passive voice uses more words and is often harder to follow than the active voice. The active voice is simply characterised by the subject of the sentence completing the action of the sentence. Yet, with the passive voice, it is the object of the sentence that completes the action that happens in the sentence. Now that we know this, it's easy for us to correct the most common grammatical mistake in essay writing across the land, which is writing in passive voice when it would be clearer to write in active voice. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar for all things English, literary and grammatical?